Previously on Pain Flacko.
Our fourth best deck is none other than the fraud himself. Before we actually even talk about the stats with anything with this deck, I thought this deck was the deck of all decks. I thought this deck was going to be UP Luffy's worst nightmare. I thought this deck was supposed to be the an S tier deck, top of A tier deck. When we just look at the bottom of the screen, you guys see it on the bottom of the screen, it's actually the third most losing deck, and it's nowhere as hard as it is to play compared to Blackbeard or Green Yellow Laws. So what happened? Already week one, and I'm already detecting a...
Do you smell it? That smell. A kind of smelly smell. A smelly smell that smells smelly.
You smell that fraud? I smell the fraud. We're not gonna have a fraud alert. We're going to wait until there's an actual event before we start calling this a fraud, because by the way it looks right now, this is starting to look like a fraud. This is supposed to be the deck that pretty much runs over UP Luffy, and it's not even the top 3 deck. The only reason why it's being played at this point, it does have the third most games played because it's new and everybody wants Buggy. That is the only reason why this deck is up here, and it shows by its win rate.
Yeah, that's better. You can get it. Marvelous.
Yo, what's good? Welcome back to the channel, y'all. And look. Y'all saw the intro. Well, what happened to Buggy being the best deck? What happened to even being in the top 16? What happened to all the Buggy ball lickers? Where are they?
What happened to all that machismo, boy?
Once again, the delinquents, the higher level thinkers are always right. You guys hyped up Buggy. Everybody hyped up Buggy. Regionals just happened over this past weekend, and Buggy is nowhere to be found. It's probably licking someone's shoes at this point. So let's go ahead and get straight to our Dublin top 16 breakdown for the meta. Okay, let's go ahead and get straight into this. Very first deck we do have that did end up coming out as first was Bello Betty, and like I said before, Bello Betty, as long as UP Luffy is in the meta, Bello Betty is going to shine. I remember when people were saying Buggy was going to be the #1 counter deck to UP Luffy, and yet Buggy's nowhere to be found, and Bello Betty, red yellow Bello Betty, is still fucking everybody's bitch. That's a fact, not an opinion. This is the most winning deck clearly from the Dublin regionals. The only thing I really see spicy from this particular list is this Caruso. I know it's not really spicy. I know this is a a staple in this deck, but the main reason why this deck performs so well into UP Luffy is just because of this card. You guys established 1 or 2 on the board. UP Luffy is pretty much just gonna give you that firmest handshake he's gave of 2025. Another card I actually haven't seen ran too often was this particular card. Let's go ahead and read it. To 3 costs from OP11. Counter up to one of your leaders or characters, gain a 3000 power this battle, then play up to 1 character card with the Rebel Army type with 5000 power. Oh, this is shice, and you get to do it on your opponent's turn, which means next turn, when it's your next turn, you get to attack. This is actually really shice. Very crazy tech from our first place winner here. I'm really liking this. Outside of that, I don't really see anything else that is really new, to be honest with you guys. This is going to be a short breakdown because if you guys didn't know, a majority of these lists are Luffy deck, purple Luffy decks. We're not going to really be going over. The only thing that's really that's different too is the stage. I've been seeing a lot of more yellow red Bello Betties lean into the stage, and clearly it worked for him. And not just him, but even in the East, more people are really starting to lean into this red yellow stage for this red yellow deck. So yeah, congratulations, you first place. And yeah, let's see what else we have. Like you guys can see, we have some top 8, some top 6, some top 16. I'm sorry, I wasn't able to get all the top 8 and all the top 16, but I like this anyways, just because we could see what everybody was bringing. If we would have seen the top 8, it probably would have just been all of this UP Luffy, right? This is top 8. This is GP Luffy. This is the like I said, I don't know what place it is, but it is top 8. I'm not gonna go over this deck. It's like I said earlier about this deck, it's either Sanji and Pudding and Bus, and especially with Gum Gum Giant. If you don't see any of these 2 cards throughout the process of the game, more likely you will lose, especially this particular Sanji Pudding. If you do not see this Sanji Pudding, you're pretty much gonna get packed up sooner rather than later. He is actually going out with the radio knife, just being able to rest one of your opponent's character for 6 costs, so that's very nice. He is doing the Luffy Taro combo. I remember some people were saying people were not using Luffy Taro in this deck, but you know, that was a lie. Clearly people are. Luffy Taro, and you also end off games with this Monkey D Luffy as well. But yeah, this is the GP Luffy deck, same exact deck since EBO2. Only thing I really do see different is this particular you know, Usopp. I guess just a flex spot. I feel like he's just trying to be fancy. I mean, he's the type of person to, you know, go to a 5-star dinner with a tux on a Tuesday just because, and that's the reason why he's playing this Usopp, and that is a fact, not an opinion. Congratulations to you, whoever's deck list this is. Let's go into the second top 8, which is Yellow Calgera. Yes, yes, yes. You already know what time it is. It's YGOD, Yellow Gang or Die, YGOD. Shout out to all my delinquents. Yellow, look, Calgera finally putting in work. And when we just take a look at this Calgera deck, if you guys do not know what this deck does, it's pretty much cheats out characters such as this Calgera. This is pretty much your staple and glue of your deck. You know, use this effect, cheat this out, then replenish life with this Norland. The only problem about this deck is that you have a hard time searching this out. You cannot search this out in this deck with any of these cards you guys see on the screen. And another combo aspect of this deck is this and Holy combo, just being able to cheat out the Holy with the If you guys couldn't tell, anything that cheats out a lot of big bodies, such as this particular deck, a GP Luffy, you know, any deck that really just cheats out characters such as Calgera, you're really gonna have a good time into UP Luffy. Like I said, this deck is really designed to beat UP Luffy. It looks like he probably did match a lot of UP Luffys, and yeah, I don't really see anything really too special about this deck. Nothing really new from OP11 except for this particular card. We can go ahead and read it. Main, you may rest 3 Don cards if both players' total amount of life cards is 5 or more. K up to one of your opponent's characters with an additional or for original cost of 5 or less. So this is pretty much some steady board removal in this deck, and then counter up to one of your leaders gains 3,000 power. So for a 1 Don being able to remove something with a 5 cost or lower, that's really good in this deck. This is the biggest thing that this deck really does struggle with is really board removal, and that's the reason why you guys are playing the Gum Gum Red Hawk, and also with this Zeus being able to search out things with the Shura as well. But yeah, pretty much Calgera, really happy to see you in here, and that's the reason why your face is on the thumbnail. Okay, let's go into our next top 8 deck, which is GP Luffy. The only thing I see different in this GP Luffy is this Chopper and also this Frankie. But like I said before, the staple and glue of this deck is the Sanji and Pudding and the Gum Gum Giant. If you guys do not see these 2 cards, more likely going to lose. He is also running Gum Gum Jetling. He's running 1 Radio Knife, 1 Electrical Luna. So he's literally running a whole bunch of flex spots. He could have just ran like 3 Electrical Lunas or 3 Radio Knives, but he's really spreading out all his flex spots with all these different particular cards. Really cool. But you know, GP Luffy, is really nothing interesting about that deck. Let's go ahead and get straight to our top 16s. Our top 16. So we also have another GP Luffy. I'm not gonna go over any more of these decks. I keep saying the same thing over and over again, like I'm you know, like I'm one of those people hyping up fake fraud decks for you guys to buy the cards. I mean, it's actually insane. But congratulations to you, GP Luffy. Top 16. Let's go to the second top 16 place where we actually have Green Yellow Law. You saw the thumbnail. You guys are probably wiping your eyes out of the crust and you know, bullshit, you know, all the snot in your eyes. You couldn't believe what you saw. And yes, the best combo deck, I would say the most popular combo deck, is finally spinning the block. Like I said earlier, this is one of my favorite decks in the whole entire game. If I did not play BY Luffy, this will be my combo deck. That is a fact, not an opinion. You pretty much abuse this leader. Okay, the biggest reason why this deck did get a buff is because it's a Capone Beige. Let's go ahead and read it. If you have a supernova type character other than Capone Beige that will be removed from the field by your opponent's effect, you may add that character to the top of life. So anything that does get removed from the board that is supernova, you get to replenish it back into life. You end up spinning with Cavendish. Cavendish is a staple and glue of this deck, and other things that are staples and glues in this deck is really this Bonnie, just being able to lock down that UP Luffy Don, possibly making them skip an extra turn by locking him down early within the game can really hinder UP Luffy's game plan, and really ending off games with this Trafalgar D Law, just really replenishing life and just having a big body on board and really just ending the game with Hody Jones. Hody Jones has gone up. I will be doing a market watch later on within this week, but Hody Jones has shot up. I'm not sure why, and yeah, that's the only thing I really see that shites out of this particular deck. He's actually running the brand new Kid and Killer card. Okay, this is from the brand new structure deck, the Bonnie structure. Let's go ahead and read it. On play, look at the top 5 cards of your top deck, reveal up to 1 Supernova's type card and add it to your hand, then place the rest at the bottom of the deck in any order. Then on your opponent's attack, you may trash this character, set up to one of your opponent's Don, or set up to one of your Don is active. I'm sorry, I'm thinking of Bonnie right here. I was about to say the opponent's Don, but it's really your own personal Don. Really good deck. Like I said earlier, this would be my deck if I did not play BY Luffy. One of the best combo decks in the game, and that is a fact, not an opinion. Now let's go ahead and get straight into this particular deck right here, which is another version of Green Yellow Law. We're not going to break down anything else unless we see something that is different, and we just take the look of everything. The only thing that is different is the room. So people are now starting to add the room card. People are now starting to realize BY Luffy, the sauce that I've been using, okay, it's starting to come into fruition right here. It's starting to spin the block. It's starting to, I mean, you get exactly what I'm saying here. This card is very excellent. You guys see it on the screen. Counter, it's a 1-drop. If you have 1 or less life, give up to one of your leaders or characters 3,000 power plus this turn, then set up to one of your 5 cost or lower characters is active. So what you can really do on this particular deck is that if you block with this, counter out, keep this on board, and then they attack, you counter out by using this, and then you actually get to restand your blocker as well. So very, very shice ass card. I'm telling you, this card is going to go up at some point in time, and very, very good card in my personal opinion, and it's going to be here for another 3 years because it is OP10. Only thing that's different is this card, he is actually just running 1, so it looks like this is more of a flex buy. It looks like he cut one of these and add one of the kids. Worked for him. He got top 16. Congratulations to you. And for our 17th deck, it's actually Bonnie. I'm not going to really go over too much of Bonnie because, you know, Bonnie is just, it's always just going to be a very good deck. You know what I mean? Let's go ahead and read some of the newer cards in this particular build here. The only new cards is this one right here. Capone Beige. If you have 6 or more rested cards, draw 1 card and trash 1 card for him. Hand Recycler right here. We already went over this card. This is another ST24 card, 4-drop, 4,000 power. And if your turn set up to one of your Don is active, okay, really shice. Another brand new starter deck card we have right here is X straight, 5-drop, 5,000 power, 2,000 counter as well. So it has some utility even if you don't want to use it on the board. On play, if your leader has a supernova type, rest up to one of your opponent's characters with a 5 cost or less, then set up to one of your Don card is active at the end of the turn. Being able to really speed up that Don, it really goes really well in tandem with this particular card as well. And then the brand new card, the boss monster of this deck, is this particular card. It's 10-drop, Law and Beppo. This is from the structure deck. On play, rest up to one of your opponent's characters, and that character will not become active in your opponent's next refresh phase. This is pretty much a Doflamingo, 10-drop Doflamingo, a lighter version. Then if your opponent has 2 or more vested characters, your leader gains 2,000 power until the end of your opponent's end phase. So that means this leader ends up being a 7,000 power. It also freezes a character on board while establishing a big body 10-drop on the board as well. So yeah, Bonnie's definitely cooked. If you guys want a crazy body list, this Bonnie list definitely seems like this is the one to use. Okay, very shice. But yeah, this is pretty much all of the deck list, y'all. The most interesting deck list I've seen from this tournament has to be this Calgara. You already know what it is. YGOD, Yellow Gang or Die. YGOD. Shout out to all my delinquents. You already know what time it is. We're here. We're finally here. As long as UP Luffy is here, Calgara is now finally meta. A lot of people were asking me about Calgara. here's a list. That's all I got. And once again, Buggy is the fraud. Don't ever hype up any, look, if you're the West, don't ever hype up anything else again. This is like the 8th or 9th time you guys hyped up some bullshit for you guys to be wrong again. Not only was Buggy a fraud, but what happened to UY Nami? What happened to UY? That was supposed to be the most broken deck in OP11. Where's that? That's not even here. That's what it says. The West players, stop fucking hyping up shit. You don't know what you're talking about. I'm starting to think y'all starting to have some crazy market manipulation at this point, because you guys are continuously wrong and people are buying these cards for a reason. It's very strange, very odd, very sus, you know what I mean? Just let me know below what you guys think about everybody hyping you up to buy cards that actually not even meta valuable. Let me know below. That's all I got. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one. But before I go, if you was feeling the vibes, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll go.